Do you have a normal job, or would an honest answer to what's going on at work ruin literally any dinner party you attend? I feel like you're just going to the wrong dinner parties or parties in general if an honest answer to this question would ruin the party. Because shouldn't you go to dinner parties or parties in general with your friends who legitimately just want to know? They might end up worried about you. Sure. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying your job can't be absolute hell. Or just really strange where things happen that people really don't believe. You know, but if it would ruin it, you're going to the wrong kind of party. Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing some MRL, just some probably laid back, relatable memes. Except for this first one, I feel like, you know, but anyways, you know the deal. Before we continue, y'all gotta get hydrated. So grab some water, or some tea, or whatever else you like to drink, and then we'll check out some more memes. Are you hydrated? Good. Let's go. 8-year-old me. I hope something good happens tomorrow. Meow. I hope whatever bad happens is at least funny. I mean, there's a reason we call children naive, because they are, but at the same time, being optimistic might not be a bad idea, but I recognize how difficult it is to just like legitimately be optimistic that something good is gonna happen, because look at the world. I think we all know. That's kind of the issue of being an adult, really. So, trying to at least stay optimistic in the way of, well, something bad is gonna happen inevitably. So it better be funny at least. I guess I'm gonna let you count it as optimism, actually. Pro tip. If you got strict parents, start rebelling young, so you set and lower expectations. Otherwise, you're gonna be 20 asking your mom if you can dye your hair. Or just dyeing your hair, but having your heart race so much because like, oh my god, what are they gonna say? When at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they say. Because when I was younger, my mom paid for my haircuts, but she said if I wanted to dye my hair, I had to pay for it myself. In a tone that indicated that she would very much not like if I even did that. And would probably not let me hear the end of it. And probably just be hypercritical in general of anything else. And be like, well, slippery slow, you dyed your hair, now your grades are slipping, kind of thing. So either start rebelling young or just find a way to not care so much. But I think this person has a point. When a person knows your name and you don't know theirs, hey man, what's up? Yeah, how you been? Yeah, no, I know, things have been crazy since we last talked to each other. When you have no idea who this person is, when you last saw them, and I'm just gonna tell you because it always gets a laugh at work. We have like our employee cards, right? And for whatever reason, I figured that our like sales employees that are like out in the field also have their own card. So this one dude came in and he started chatting with me, like he absolutely knew who I was. I was like talking, but the thing is they mentioned specific like customers of theirs that you should know, but it wasn't clicking who he is. So I looked at his ID card, which was right next to his crotch. And I tried to do it subtly. I don't think he noticed. At least I'm hoping he didn't. But these sales employees get guest cards. So I was there sitting like a dick, trying to essentially look at his crotch to find out who he is, which did not actually work. And it's still kind of funny to me. I now know who he is, of course, because I asked someone else after he left. I was like, who the hell was that? Because I just almost looked at his crotch and I feel like that's too personal for me to not even know his name, you know? Yeah. Anyways, that's how well I remember names. Me googling the number that just called instead of just answering like a fucking adult. Wrong. Like an adult of a different generation, because who just does that? Like, the only times I actually answer my phone is when I'm either like expecting a call from like job interviews, when I wrote applications. I'm like, well, I don't specifically know this number, but it is the region I applied in, so I'm just gonna answer. Or, you know, you're waiting for like literally like companies or something to call you back about service, whatever, then yes. Chances are maybe if it isn't for a job interview, just answer random numbers. I might just let it ring through anyways and be like, well, if it's important, then call again. So we could be freaking adults of a different generation, or we could just not. How's the weekend? I hope you're feeling refreshed. Do I look refreshed, Rebecca? Do I look like I'm well rested? No, I haven't slept well in 2.5 weeks and it's starting to drive me crazy, Rebecca. So stop asking. Like, they're just literally over here trying to be nice, trying to make a little bit of small talk, you know? But I think sometimes they already know the answer, and then maybe just saying something else might be the better approach than just saying, oh, you're well rested, right? When you very clearly are not. Everyone, how do you always stay calm when something horrible happens? It's much easier coping with life problems when you let go of hope. Well, I can see how being like pessimistic and just kind of expecting the worst to happen seems like a good approach, because then you're probably actually gonna have your expectations met, or something's actually gonna beat your expectations. But at the same time, if you always look for the negative, you're always just gonna find the negative, right? So yes, but no. Very yes, but no, because yeah, if you let go of hope that something good is gonna happen, you're gonna be pleasantly surprised if something does actually happen. That's nice, but still, it's gonna be much harder to actually find the nice things and appreciate them. Okay, lying owls are just a mood. I didn't know owls lie down. I think maybe it's just baby owls, but the one on the bottom right actually looks very adult. Maybe. I don't know, it still has a little bit of that baby fuzz, but this just looks like this owl just had a day. It's given up. Don't talk to it. Try again tomorrow. I'm not saying pull this exact post, but if you do, I will know what's going on and I'll talk to you until tomorrow. My mom, why don't you like sleeping at Grandma's house? Well, listen. This person just wanted to sleep without being watched by a life-size statue of anything. Because I can kind of understand not wanting like life-size posters or life-size like statues of anyone. It does not actually make a difference that it's Jesus, by the way. To some people it might. Like, if you're religious and if you believe in Jesus, you might think this is a good idea, like Grandma apparently did. But to be fair, Grandma doesn't have to sleep in this room. I used to have a life-size poster when I was a teenager. It didn't bother me because it was watching me, it bothered me because it was like a black cloth on a white background, and then it just kind of vaguely looked like someone was standing there in the dark. So there's that, you know. But I feel like a lot of people aren't gonna have an easy time sleeping being watched like this. Condom commercials should just use images like this. I don't know if it was just like a German condom like ad, like a video ad, but they literally showed someone being grocery shopping with their small toddler who was throwing a fit about absolutely anything and is like throwing himself on the ground screaming. And then the person next to them just grabbed the condom because they were like, I don't want that to happen, I'm just gonna take these. And yes, it's brilliant, and it would probably probably work. Some people are probably gonna get pissed at it and be like, well, yeah, sometimes children just do that, you know, but children are so beautiful. But listen, if you have to persuade someone to want kids, then that person probably shouldn't have kids because just no. Just no. Replenishing my mana. Eating cheese from the fridge at 1 AM. Well, listen, if you just phrase it like it actually is, it sounds worse. You know? And honestly, kind of just finding ways to make ordinary things more fun. Like I'm not gonna come for it. I'm not gonna be some boomer and just be like, well, we always just did the thing, you know? Like, we always just did the dishes. Well, sure. Okay. Good for you. But if you need to make it more fun, if you need to force yourself to actually be able to do things with putting on like a giant Mario head or something, and that's the only way you can like get yourself to do the dishes or something, I'm not gonna come for it. And if you need to phrase it like this, I'm also not going to. How to prepare for an eternity in hell. Work in the restaurant industry. No one can be 100% prepared, but a past in customer service can build a tolerance to physical or mental torture. That just seems fair. I feel like it's probably gonna be way worse in the US. Like, I'm not saying that German waiters in restaurants or like bars or something have it easy. They really, really still don't. But I think the amount of just absolutely entitled people like yelling at their waiters and everything is way worse in the US. So if you really want to be prepared, you know what to do. Ultra-religious grandma suddenly visiting. Panic. Pulled up a music playlist, set out a puzzle, everything is going well. Calm. That one really explicit song I forgot about comes on. It's a playlist with 420 songs. Panic. This is the kind of luck I would have. Because once again, it wasn't a super religious grandma, it was like a coworker that up until that point, I didn't know that well. I maybe talked to her like once or twice because we were going on a trade fair together. On the drive there, it was like a 10-hour drive maybe? 8, 10, I really don't remember, but I have a long playlist. But it manages to pull those songs. To be fair, she at least thought it was funny, because it was Clitoris by Ashniko and she thought it was funny. But I was really worried. So anyways, with my luck, that would definitely also happen to me. Sometimes all a person needs is that one missing piece. $1 billion. Because again, when people say money doesn't buy happiness, it clearly shows that they never had to worry about money. Because if you always just had enough money to not have to worry about shit, then yeah, maybe not, then maybe it's like a healthier way to find happiness, to have hobbies that you enjoy or friends that you like hang out with. But if you constantly have to worry about money, and have to worry that if my washing machine breaks, or something breaks, or my car starts throwing out like warning lights, then I'm fucked, then yeah, money will absolutely help. So I feel like for a lot of people, like not even this amount, like less would probably also like just really help. I want AI to do my laundry and dishes so that I can do art and writing. Not for AI to do my art and writing so that I can do my laundry and dishes. Yeah, that. Because while it's great that you get like AI to help write applications or something, you know? But if you like are an author or you enjoy writing articles or whatever, then that's what you set out to do and that's what you want to do. Getting help with that from AI, probably not helpful. Like sometimes if you're like really just stuck in a rut and just need something to snap you out of it, it might like be great for inspiration. But apart from that, getting stuff to do your dishes or your laundry and just having that more automated so you don't have to, would honestly just be way more helpful to a lot of people. I don't care if you didn't find it funny. I'm always the target audience of my jokes. This just seems like a good approach to life in general, not just with jokes. It's like, I don't care if you like it. I have to like it. I'm the target audience here. Which is just a fair approach, and that's kind of the attitude we should be striving for, right? Thinking about the time I showed my hairdresser the haircut I want, and he said, "Derek, that's the same haircut I give you. That guy is just better looking than you." Ouch. You were just trying to get a haircut that you wanted, but instead you got roasted. I'm pretty sure he was probably just being honest, because I think he would roast you like this if he was just like, you know, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Men with serious injuries and broken bones. No, you know what? I'm good. This is fine. Men when they get a fever, or a cold, or literally anything, then suddenly they're dying. Then suddenly it's the end of the world. They're dying. They gotta write out their will. Why though? Literally, just why? Where's the logic? Men like saying they're logical, so where's the logic? Employee, I'm burnt out. Management, here have pizza and some Coke, because that's gonna help. Listen, I don't think it has literally helped for morale for anyone, ever. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy pizza. So I will be excited about the pizza just because I like pizza. Is it gonna help with morale? Is it gonna make me hate a job less if I hate it? Definitely not. Is it gonna make me more motivated to try harder? No. Just absolutely no. Are you busy this weekend? That entirely depends on the rest of the information you're about to give me. Because maybe I need to decide if it's worth changing my plans, which probably include watching YouTube videos all day. So maybe just give me more information. Like, don't just say, "Hey, do you have time? Are you free this weekend?" Because maybe not. Maybe, but maybe not. Millennials will be the first generation to not turn into bit old pranks. Our asses will be hitting our 70s, still trying to convince younger generations we're still funny and cool. We're literally going to end up being the Bashimi meme. How do you do, fellow kids? Listen, I've already given up on that with people in my age. But then again, I'm not a millennial, so maybe. But then again, try to convince some other kid that you're cool, because it probably won't work on me. Because I apparently seem to have no concept of what's cool in my generation, because I keep being confused by what people think is cool and think is not cool, so try to impress someone else, literally. Why can't you blow dust off a shelf anymore? Why can't you blow dust off a shelf anymore? Is dust stickier than it used to be? Has dust changed? Is dust different? You can't blow dust anymore. I just keep having the feeling that this year the humidity in the air is much higher than it used to be last year. And I don't know if I'm just getting old and just react more to it and just have a bigger problem with it, or if it legitimately just used to be drier, but I feel like I'm not going crazy and it's actually like higher humidity this year, which obviously just makes dust stick to everything so much more. So in that case, the answer would just be humidity. But maybe that's also just in Germany, and maybe just in this region of Germany, so I really cannot tell you why dust is stickier. Remember, calories don't count when you're using the self-checkout, and the cashier can't judge you for the awful stuff you're putting into your body. But to be fair, unless it's like a really, really small town, chances are the cashier isn't gonna remember you. You know? So even if they do see you buying whatever donuts and chocolate and whatever other snacks and lemonade or whatever, they're not gonna judge you. They're also just there to do their job. They literally just cannot care. We're all just trying to like get through our job and get to the end of the day. So I don't think they can. So unless you live in a really small town where everyone knows each other and everyone is constantly judging each other anyways, I think you're good even without self-checkout. My own attitude stresses me out sometimes. I'd be mad at me for being mad. Well, the good news is you can change that. You can work on staying calmer or not being so mad at certain things. Because chances are you will still be incredibly mad at a lot of things. But you can kind of like choose to not care and just like work on not caring so much and not being so mad. And for that, being mad at being mad might be a good first step. When you're in the backseat, desperately trying to be a part of the front seat conversation, don't talk to me when I'm in the backseat. Please just don't. Because I cannot understand the word you're saying. And I don't want to be this dog, but if you want to, you probably can. Because, yeah, backseat people just don't understand anything that's going on in the front seat. I don't know why money doesn't last for me. We with money, buying all the food. Yeah, well, it might just not last because things have gotten way more expensive, but yeah, if you just like get the money and immediately go eat out like 10 times a week, that might also be a reason. That might really also be a reason. Me, looking at my phone, waiting for it to stop ringing so I can back to what I was doing. Not even just googling the number, just ignoring it altogether. Also seems fair, because maybe it's also just me, but I feel like the amount of spam calls, but specifically also like spam SMS or like phishing SMS that try to get you to, oh, your package is delayed, we need more information to deliver it, you know, please fill out your address again, has gotten way more. So honestly, just ignoring the calls and not even googling also just seems fair. Me realizing my hyper self-awareness doesn't make me superior and only holds me back from enjoying and doing things without the fear of embarrassment. Great. That's cool, isn't it? That's really cool. To be fair, I still think it's my autism that made me this self-aware. But I guess the root cause doesn't matter when this is kind of exactly what happened. The amount of times, I cannot tell you this, the amount of times I struggled to start filming a video because I was worried. So I was anxious, and it's literally just like a camera. It's gotten way better. Like I haven't had that in like a while and a couple of months, but fair. Just fair. Being 30 in the 80s, okay? Versus being 30 in 2024. Yeah, listen, when you're a kid, you think 30-year-olds are old and incredibly serious, and then you turn 30 and it's just like, oh boy, do I seem that way to kids? I'm not even 30 yet. I'm not even 30, but I do think people will take you serious. And adults somehow manage to take each other serious because they're constantly going around pretending that they have everything together when they mostly do not. But anyways, when I grow up, I will be an amazing and cool person. Me at 30. Would child you still think you're cool? Maybe not. But maybe they would. You know, because honestly, kids sometimes are incredibly easy to impress, so they might just be impressed that you're able to drive a car and think that's really cool, so it might still work. Maybe not, but maybe it will. when you pass someone and you check if they look as stupid as they drive. I kinda wanna do this. And when you drive alone, that's very possible, but as soon as you have like a passenger next to you, you can't do that anymore because they're in the way of you checking that. Which just kinda sucks, because I want to do this. Because I'm just like, you drive either incredibly reckless, or just like super slow and they drive like an old person, but then they're not. Sometimes you can just tell, but sometimes it really doesn't. Alexa, intruder alert. Turn off all the lights. Turn volume to 100. Says, so you have chosen death. Play Doom Eternal OST 2022. The only thing they fear is you. Release every room. How many Roombas do you have? But A, if someone else was in the house asleep at that time, they are definitely awake now too. And this intruder will definitely be startled. And it'd be funnier if you actually get intruders, but it wouldn't be funnier, you know? Like, of course you're hoping you're never gonna get intruders. But if you are so unlucky that it does happen, this just seems like a funny option, really. Up to be fit. Go to a gym. Eat healthy food. Die of exhaustion healthily. Not if you do it right. Not if you do it right, but listen, if you're already like completely burned out and overwhelmed with everything, trying to do too much at once is just not gonna work. It is just gonna make you more exhausted. Like, if you're already exhausted, just start going to the gym for like 5 hours a week. It's not gonna help, it's just gonna make you more exhausted. And then you're just gonna be annoyed or frustrated at it and not wanna do it again. Because you try to overdo it. And I feel like that's just very easy for humans in general to do. Just be like, well, I'm just gonna change everything at once, right now. I'm just gonna start eating healthy now, and I'm just gonna start working out immediately, and I'm just gonna get healthy and get fit. But doing too much at once just doesn't, like, there are some people that it legitimately just works for, but for most people, it probably won't. And I know it's somehow, like, mentally a lot harder to just, like, add one thing at a time, to just, like, add going for a walk every second day in, or go for drinking a little bit more water versus just, like, sugary drinks or something, because you're like, well, I'm gonna take small steps. It's a lot harder to do mentally, because you're like, I want to get healthier, and you want to do it before the motivation runs out, right? But trust me, taking kind of like baby steps like this and just kind of like adding something in and waiting for it to kind of just like feel natural, that you automatically maybe like reach for the water more, or that you automatically go for a walk more, or that you have an easier time adding vegetables into your meals or something. Kind of waiting until that feels normal is probably gonna work a lot better for most people than trying to do everything at once, so you don't end up like this comic. You know? Anyways, that was more inspirational than I planned this video to be when I started, I guess. But that's okay. I feel like this happens a lot. You know, but anyways, I hope you enjoyed the memes, or my semi-inspirational rants. And I hope you're hydrated. If not, maybe grab something to drink now. And I'll be back in a few days with my next video.